Hi, today we are going to look at a case study of mobile marketing for a brand that you are well aware of, Pepsi, and this is in Philippines. So before we go ahead with the case study, let me tell you a bit about Philippines. Philippines is a country where the usage of mobile phones is very high. You must be thinking that SMS usage is one of the highest in India or BlackBerry usage is one of the highest in India, but you are wrong. SMS usage is the highest in Philippines and their mobile penetration is very high. So when Pepsi decided to go ahead and try mobile marketing in Asia Pacific area, they had data of Indian customers also and they had data of Philippines also, but they went ahead with Philippines because of the higher penetration of mobiles and because of the usage of SMS prevalent out there. So Pepsi, what it wanted to do was it wanted to integrate mobile media with other media channels. So as you are aware, it has a very high spends in terms of television, in terms of print media. So in the offline world, Pepsi is a large spender, and even in the online world, it spends a lot, but it hadn't tried out new technologies like mobile. So what it was doing was doing more of display advertisement displays, banners and different advertisements that you see when you visit websites. So those are the kind of areas that Pepsi was trying out. So the aim for that particular exercise was to drive traffic to 1000 stores that Pepsi had identified inside Philippines. So these stores had already some offline promotion going on. So what was it? There are 2 stars in Philippines. There were standees of these stars, and what you had to do was you get yourself a selfie with those standees while drinking a Pepsi. So that's how it was. So they wanted to extend it to mobile. So let's see how they did. So this was called the Pepsi stand fee promo. How it went about is they've created this heat map, as you can see, with 1000 stores, and they geofenced it. I'll tell you what geofencing is. So basically there are these 1000 stores that they have marked on the map, and they've said when users come near this area, near to any of those stores, I want to activate my campaign. So what they have done is they have partnered with 2 companies. One was MediaShare and one was AdNear. So you'll hear more about AdNear in the coming years. AdNear has collected a lot of data about Indian consumers also, and it was the same with the case of Philippines. So they are a location based audience technology. So they collect data about a user's location. How do they do it? They do it through various ways. So as you can see on the slide, they have people actually walking down the street and collecting data. They visit train stations, they travel in taxis, and what they do is they list down open Wi-Fi hotspots and who has accessed it. So based on all that information, they have collected huge amounts of data. So they claim that they have data about 245 million users across Southeast Asia, Australia and India. So that's how vast the data is. To give you an idea of how important this information is, somebody like Vodafone in India, if I have a Vodafone connection, Vodafone knows exactly where I am. So if my smartphone is turned on, then Vodafone has data about my GPS location or even triangulation of its own cell towers, so that it can always locate me and it keeps a history of where all I have been to. But legally they are not allowed to share that information with a third party or even for their own promotions. So when Vodafone wanted to do a campaign which was location based mobile marketing, they had to partner with AdNear. So that's the kind of information that AdNear has.